All right, take two on this week's attendance post. I did it before I left campus. I was in my office, and then on my walk home, I realized based on a student contacting me and me thinking about it that I forgot to talk about something really important. So this is my take two of this week's attendance. And I'm actually going to just go ahead and move over to the course content so I can show you what I have seen this week, and then talk about just some, just some details of the course we need to make sure we've gotten clear. Okay, so in here I've added a new video that I recorded last semester that specifically talks about how late work works and how to submit and how to set that up. So if you're interested in taking advantage of that, and we're only moving now into our first My IT lab, but it's a good time to understand that if you have a question. And then I've put on here CIT tutoring, so if you want some additional help, I want to say this, you can always come see me during office hours. You can come see me during my class on Tuesday, Thursday at 2 to 4 in BE 127. If you need additional help, see the tutors, and then if their schedule and mine doesn't work, ask me and I'll figure out something for us to connect, because as we move now forward, right, so we're ending week 2, moving into week 3, it's way important that you stay up with this class and having a schedule, disciplined schedule of working on this class more than 2 times, but at minimum 2 times a week when things are due is good. But I've noticed some of you, and I really appreciate this, are working ahead so that you can get my feedback. But remember, you have to submit 24 hours before the due date to get that feedback from me, okay? So one of the things I noticed here on my screens for some students was that they still hadn't set up from the week 1 Hello World, their shared with everyone directory correctly, okay? And that's the Google Drive shared with everyone. And I created a second video in this week, or actually a first in the sequence, that you could watch for how to set that up. But what I want to show you here, so if you want to go back and review that, if you missed, if I said to you on grading, because I graded this morning, hey, I couldn't see your screens, that's why, is you hadn't set that up so anyone could view it. So one easy way to test this, to see if you have done this, or if you've set this up correctly and shared it in the right location and all that, is log out of your Gmail and then go look at it in Canvas. Because if you've logged out of your Gmail, then you're looking at the post, the image screens, the embedded items, just like anyone else, or you look at it from if you've set this up correctly, the shared with everyone. Oh, sorry, I'm in the Hello World one. But it's the same idea. Either of these, and any of the hands-on from here on out, you'll be able to see that, right? So I'm talking about the My Screens, but it could have also applied last week, and it can apply to the HTMLs. Once you log out of your Gmail and you see your images, you know you've shared them correctly. So if you want to check on that process for you, that's the way you do it. Now the other way is just to go in and make sure A, you've put those files in that folder, and B, you've shared that folder correctly, and C, you've given a link to that location, right? And I've stepped you through all this stuff in the video so far, maybe not in the one video, but in the sequence of stuff for how to do that, right? So if you need to go back to week 1, do that. It's okay to do that, right? It's okay to look at that again for how to embed that, and then making sure you're doing it correctly. Okay, so as we move into the My IT Lab part of our class, I've talked about getting those accounts set up. I'm actually already logged in over here to My IT Lab, and do make sure you get in the right course, right? So this is my online class, this is my face-to-face class. So make sure you enroll in the right My IT Lab, and that's up in the syllabus up there, right? So up in the syllabus, I've given you the instruction for how to get in, which is the course for the online, which is the one for the face-to-face, and these are the numbers that you enroll in the My IT Lab. So make sure you get that done. Also make sure you make sure you have the Popup Blocker enabled. And I say this in the video, but I'm going to say it again, is I'm going to go into the course, just because it doesn't hurt to say things more than once. If you're starting to work on my IT lab, and I'll just go into course material because the first item you have due is Word, chapter 1. And that's one of the other things too, is that and we'll see the list in a second here. Definitely close out everything that you have running but this tab. As a matter of fact, if I was really doing it, I would get rid of these other ones just because it works better. So in here, Word 2016, right? I've talked about already the trainings, that they're not required, but you can use them for late points. And here's the exam. Well, what happens is if you click on this and something tries to show up but then doesn't, your pop-up blocker is most likely the issue. And actually, as soon as you go to the My IT Lab website, it'll flash you that says, hey, pop-up blocker needs to be enabled. So here's what it will look like if you didn't catch the message. Now mine popped up. How can I tell? Because this is what showed up. If on yours you don't get this next screen that's coming up for me right now, that means I'm going to minimize this. That means your pop-up blockers back on this page has disabled it, and it'll generally get a little icon up here so that you can go in and enable it, because you're going to need that for the My IT Lab for all the work that we do in here. Okay, so make sure you do that. And then this week also make sure you check out the video showing you how to post your score, because you are doing the work for My IT Lab over in My IT Lab, but this video right here will show you how to post the score, create a PDF file, and then upload that into your Google Drive into the shared with Rio Waller directory. Okay? All right, so that's just what I wanted to say. I know it's it's so interesting how that walk home is so good for me, because I remember some stuff I should have mentioned. So I hope this is of benefit to you. These are very important videos for you to check into every week so that you make sure that you're in touch with some of the changes that happen or some of the questions, because students' questions also, and that's what I will end with, is that there's really two ways, best ways, is to contact me. If you want to get on class chat, that's a great way. If you want to ask me personally, get on Canvas. Don't chat me directly on Hangout. And here's the reason, is that I actually have to approve through the campus, the communications channels I have with students, and they get a copy of the log for the chat, and they have a copy of the Canvas, but they don't have individual Hangouts and emailing me directly. So that's why I want to concentrate all of your direct questions through Canvas. Okay? All right. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later.